They say the market is like a relationship, lots of ups and downs, and you're always the last to know when it's crashing. I'm Spencer, Yule Spencer, with a comics view of Wall Street. Okay, so I want to share something with you that took me longer than it should have to figure out. I used to think investing was just about finding the right stock. Like if I just picked the right company, everything else would fall into place. And then the market would do something completely unexpected and I'd be sitting there like, what just happened? What happened was I wasn't paying attention to the right things. I was so focused on the tree, I wasn't seeing the forest. I'm Yule Spencer, a.k.a. Spencer. And today we're talking about market dynamics. This one changed how I see everything. I will scare you wealthy if I have to. Let's get into it. And here's what I mean by market dynamics. Before you touch a single stock, you need to know what kind of market you're actually in right now. Bull market, bear market, overvalued, undervalued. Where are we in the cycle? I didn't used to ask that question. Once I started asking, what is the market doing right now before anything else? Everything got cleaner. The entries made more sense. The exits made more sense. It wasn't magic. It was just paying attention to the right thing first. So that's where we start. Before the stock, what's the market doing today? Now, here's one that I'll be honest. I used to tune out because it sounded like boring government stuff. The Federal Open Market Committee, the Fed. These are the people who set interest rate policy and basically move the whole market every time they open their mouths. And I mean the whole market. Doesn't matter what stock you're in. When the Fed speaks, everybody reacts. I've watched stocks I was holding do things I didn't expect simply because of what somebody said at a Fed meeting. Once I started paying attention to when they were meeting and what the expectation was going in, I stopped being surprised as often. That's all I'm asking you to do. Know when they're talking. Read what people expect them to say. You don't need a finance degree. It's publicly available. I read it. You can read it. And this one I genuinely wish I'd known about sooner. There's a number called the VIX, the Volatility Index. It basically tells you how nervous the market is right now. Under 15, the room is calm. Above 20, people are getting jumpy. The higher it goes, the more fear is in the market. And here's the thing that flipped my thinking on this. Volatility used to scare me. High VIX meant danger, stay away. But what I eventually learned is that volatility is where the opportunity is. If you're patient and you know what you're looking for. Some of my best entries happened when everybody else was panicking. Check the VIX before you trade. Same way you check the weather before you leave the house. It just tells you what you're walking into. Okay, this one is funny because I used to do this all the time. I'd watch a stock for weeks, just watching, waiting for something to happen. And then when it finally moved, I'd either miss it or jump in too late chasing it. That's stalking. That's not a strategy. What I learned to do instead is anticipate. There's a difference. Anticipating means you're studying what's happening around the stock before it moves. I'll give you a real example. I started paying attention to the marijuana sector long before it got hot, not because I had some inside information, but because I was actually talking to people, listening to what was shifting in real life, watching the legislation. By the time it popped, I wasn't chasing it. I was already there. You can do that too. Watch what's moving in real life around you. What are people actually doing? What's changing? The market catches up to real life eventually. I want to leave you with this because it took me a while to really accept it. The market is not that complicated. I know it feels complicated. I know they make it feel complicated on purpose. The jargon, the noise, all of it. But the actual strategy, once you learn it, is wash, rinse, repeat. Find your setup, work your system, do it again. Market dynamics is just making sure you check the environment before you run your play. You wouldn't go to a game without knowing the weather conditions, the field, who's injured. This is the same thing. And I'm still on this journey. Every day I'm learning something new, but checking market dynamics before I do anything. That one's been locked in for me for a while now, and it's made a real difference. So that's where I am on market dynamics. Know the cycle, watch the Fed, read the VIX, anticipate instead of stalk, and then wash, rinse, repeat. I learned all of this the hard way, so hopefully you don't have to. Quick reminder, this is for education and entertainment, high risk in trading, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Always do your own research before you put your money anywhere. If this resonated with you, hit like. It helps YouTube put this in front of more people who need to hear it. Subscribe right here on the channel. We do this every week. We're all on this journey together. I'm Yule Spencer, a.k.a. Spencer. Go get your 1,000. I'll see you in the next one.